Hello, everybody. This is Pat with Villain Views. If you don't know, we rate video game, comic, and TCG card shops that we go to, and this channel is all about our opinions on those stores that we go to. It is 100% our bias on those stores. Uh, we're not saying that they are good or the best possible store for everybody, but it is our opinion on those stores due to our experiences. We at one time were going to create a card store called Villains CCG, and the CCG stood for Cards, Comics, and Games. And we still have a really large passion for the industry and would love to do that. Unfortunately, we had a couple of milestones that kind of got in our way, and we have been unable to do that, as well as it not being our only form of income. So we do have jobs that we have to take care of to maintain both our lifestyle and our families. And besides this being a great hobby, we would love to be able to continue in the industry. All of that aside, that does seem to give us a little bit more of a view into the backs of some of the stores that we get to see. We have some experience with the vendors and the way things are priced, and it has been just a great experience for me and my family to go to these stores and have fun. And we just felt like not only would this be a great way to preserve our views on those stores, but it would also be a great way to share those experiences with others. So for our rating system, we have a 1 through 5, 5 being an outstanding store. To be honest, I'm going to try extremely hard to not give just every store that we go to a 5. And on the flip side, I'm also trying to not give everybody a 1. What we are probably going to also do is we're going to start reviewing these stores as well on Google, and that score is probably going to be very different than the score I give for my videos, because as someone who works in retail, I don't believe that a price is a reason to give someone a bad review. I think it has a lot to do with the experience you have in the store. And so, just because I might say that, hey, this store is a little expensive, I probably is a little out of my budget, does not necessarily mean that it was a bad store and that it's out of everybody's budget. On the flip side, you can have a great customer experience, but maybe have a poor store experience, meaning if you go into a store and product is literally thrown on the ground and there's, trash and things, that's going to lower a score, even if you were just an outstanding personality behind the counter. But on the flip side of that, the more important factor is obviously how you make me, the customer, feel at that time. And that's going to, of course, affect your score as well. One of the things that we look for in card shops specifically is I like, when I go into a card store, that the cards are easy to see either in a form of a binder, and I like to see things priced. When I see cards priced with either a label on the back, or hey, all the cards in this section are between this money price point, it lets me know that when you bought this card for whatever price, you then thought to yourself, I would like to make X amount of money on this card, and you priced it in that range, whether that is priced from TCG player or however you do it. Versus if I go into a store and you have all these cards out that I would really love to see, but you have no price point for me to gauge where I'm at, or it doesn't have a label, I'm not going to be able to know. And in some cases, I might feel like I'm a little too overstimulated to ask an associate how much this card is, being afraid that maybe it'll be out of my price point. And so, specifically with cards, that has been a hurdle that I have had to deal with. one of the things about the TCG card business model that I found is that the best stores that I have seen out there price their stuff consistently. So, yes, you have to try to make as much profit as you possibly can on a card to stay in business, but you also need to allow your customer to feel as though they got a good deal. And so just because a card went up $10 over the weekend doesn't necessarily mean that you needed to make that $10 to stay afloat, especially if you bought it, 6 months ago when it was $50 less than its current value and you bought it for even less than that. It just makes everybody feel, hey, that you made money on the card. I got a good deal when purchasing the card, and it's just a win-win. So for me, when I go into a card store and I'm asking, hey, how much is this card? That's a little bit disheartening in the fact that I know that you're going to probably automatically price it at whatever the percentage that you're working off TCG Player is. When it comes to comics, I am very biased. I don't collect a whole bunch of comics. I have a soft spot in my heart for Sonic the Hedgehog, and so I'm always on the search for Archie Sonic comics, as well as I have some Spawn and a couple of other comics, but I don't spend a whole lot of time looking for issues. I do search for Sonic because Sonic is so popular nowadays since the movies have come out, that it is hard to find good quality stuff in the types of issues I'm looking for. But that's not going to deter me from giving a comic store a good reference. A lot of it has to do with how you have things organized, how good your staff is at helping me find things. A lot of stores that we go into, either one, again, don't have prices on things, or you just don't have anyone there who can help someone find what they're looking for. And with video game stuff, it seems to be very, how clean is the store, how helpful is the staff. I try not to focus solely on just what product they have in the store, because especially in video games, you're so reliant on what people bring you, that you can be in and out in value. And a lot of times stores that I find that give good deals to customers, unfortunately, are lacking in inventory, specifically because you can't just pay crazy money, otherwise you sit on this product. Unlike if you are working with a store that gives fair values to folks, those folks who have more rare items are less likely to trade you those rare items because of that. So back a little bit to our rating system. Again, 1 being a store we are probably never coming back to, and even worse than that, a 0.5 would be a even less likely chance for us to come back, to a 5. The way that we rate it is we are the villains, we are the customer, and so when we go there, we specifically are going to decide, hey, if you're a 1 on our scale, you don't need any help from us to make your store do any worse than it is right now. Versus a 5, I would call that, we need to sabotage this store because it's doing so well that we need a villain to go out there and try to bring it down. And that little play is kind of what we've enjoyed doing with our deal here. But anyway, this is just a quick recap for folks who don't really understand exactly how we do this and what we're trying to do as far as give folks a little more interesting view on some of these stores while we're doing this. Again, guys, this is Pat with Villain Views, and thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. All your support really does matter. Thank you.